Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to this extended play of Final Fantasy XIV. My name is Brenton Volley of BPV Gaming, and this video is an introduction into the game that I will be playing long-term on this channel. I just wanted to first tell you thank you so much for subscribing and for all the likes and comments that you guys give me on a regular basis. And this series is supposed to be not necessarily a cover-up or a supplement, but it is to continue bringing Final Fantasy content to my channel as Final Fantasy VII has been concluded as a Let's Play series. This was inspired by the Let's Play that Drac2326 has created on his channel of World of Warcraft, where he explored the main story and the content that is offered to those who start from level 1 to current content. And this was a project that I wanted to bring to my channel, specifically Final Fantasy XIV, since July of 2017. I wanted to go over with you all essentially how this game will be produced and uploaded so that there is no confusion going forward as episode 1 of this series will start today. Final Fantasy XIV will be a slow-paced extended play of the content that is currently available to those who start brand new at level 1 up until current content. I will make this as slow-paced as I possibly can, as Final Fantasy XIV currently has one full completed expansion and is about, I would say, a little over 50% into its second expansion as of this video and as of today. When I get into the game, I will be playing at patch 4.18, and in a couple of weeks, patch 4.2 will be incorporated into the game. So I'm going to try to make this as slow paced as I possibly can, trying to explore each individual expansion and story and show you everything the game has to offer. In order to upload this series on a regular, consistent basis and to maintain the slow-paced extended play, I have decided that this series will be uploaded every Saturday at noon Mountain Time, and that will be one episode every single Saturday. Again, just to maintain the slow-paced nature of the series. I'll try to make each and every episode approximately 30 minutes or longer, seeing as it is an RPG, and so like any basic RPGs, especially those from Japan, they are pretty cutscene heavy, and I want to make sure that some gameplay is incorporated into every video, but I cannot make any promises due to the nature of the content or what part of the story that we are in at the time I am putting out an episode. Like I said, I will show as much of the game according to what is still available to play. A lot of the content that I will be playing at the start of the story, it will be a little tricky for me at first, just because a lot of people are playing at patch 4.18 and playing that current content. But I will do my best to show off as much older content as I possibly can, while still maintaining the integrity of a consistent upload schedule. And finally, like I said, this will be an extended play, as I have called it. Just because this is an MMO and there is additional content that is added by the developer, which is Square Enix. I am assuming that there will be eventually a third, maybe even a fourth, fifth expansion of this series, and I will continue to play this game on this channel for as long as I possibly can until Square Enix has deemed that Final Fantasy XIV story is concluded. And so I didn't want to call this game a Let's Play because there is no definitive end at this current time. And so I'm deeming this what I love an extended play. And like I said, because this is an MMO, you get to pretty much create your own character and add it into this vibrant, beautiful world, which I have done so in preparation of getting ready for this extended play. And so I want to introduce to you my character. Alright, you guys, this is the character that I have created and the character in which we are going to experience this journey with together. So this is my Lalafell, part of the Dunefolks clan. His name is Scout Alder, and I decided I wanted to go with a Lalafell my second time through this game. I chose a different race my first time through, and I still play my main quite a bit, but I wanted to try and play a Lalafell this time around just because I've had like my husband and my brother-in-law and so many different people try and convince me to change my main character into a Lalafell, and I just wasn't budging. So I decided to go with a Lalafell for this extended play. How I came up with the name Scout Alder, there wasn't a whole lot of thought press in the last name of this character, but I wanted to honor our mine and nation's little Shih Tzu, who unfortunately we had to put down at the end of the summer, and his name was Scout. So I decided I wanted to name this little guy after our little guy Scout, and that is how I came up with Scout Alder. Very simple, straight to the point. Name, like, pretty much name day, guardian, that information really doesn't have any sort of impact on your character in Final Fantasy XIV. It's just like extra fun little information that you can apply to your dude if you so please. The next part that I want to get into here is the class that I have chosen. And so this is where I kind of want to talk about how I'm going to be doing and how I'm sticking with a certain class. So I know that I ran a poll on Twitter asking you all what kind of role you would prefer watching if you were to watch, you know, something like this, an MMO being played as a Let's Play series, or in this case, an extended play series. And a lot of people wanted to see a tank be played. Unfortunately, the thing is, as much as I know this game, I've only really been playing MMOs for about a year in total between World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV, and so I didn't feel super confident in my abilities to learn how to play tanking, and I didn't really want that type of responsibility on my shoulders going into a tank role. So I decided I wanted to be a thaumaturge, if I am pronouncing that correctly, and thaumaturges eventually in the game, which you will see because we'll get to that point, they become black mages, which is a ranged DPS caster class. Just because I can't really pronounce what the class name is now, I'm just going to be referring to it as a black mage, and so I'm playing a black mage. Additionally, I know that as I get into expansion content, obviously there are going to be other classes available to me because they were added in with the expansion content, but I decided that I was going to stick with one class throughout this entire extended play. So I will be playing a black mage for however long this series lasts, and I will be sticking solely to it unless there's like some strange thing or some awesome class or something happens where I feel that it would fit well with this character's story that I have created in my head. And so this is Scout Alder. This is who we're going to be following. This is his story, his journey, and I am looking so forward to getting him into this world. And now, to end this video, there's actually some pretty cool information I want to share about Final Fantasy XIV that I did not mention previously before I introduced Scout Alder, and that is I will be playing Final Fantasy XIV starting at patch 2.0. Originally, when this game was released in 2010, at obviously patch 1.0, it did not do very well. It was a disappointment to fans of MMOs and to Final Fantasy alike. And 2 years into its run, Square Enix shut the game down. And obviously, there's a whole story that is from patch 1.0 that is incorporated into patch 2.0, which is what Square Enix pretty much did to revamp the series. They completely started from scratch and brought back something incredibly new and titled it Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn, which is where we're going to be starting our adventure. However, a lot from patch 1.0 and its story is integrated into A Realm Reborn and going forward into other expansion content. I have compiled a brief synopsis, or what I would like to consider brief, of the patch 1.0 story, and I would like to share that story with y'all now. Final Fantasy XIV takes place on Eorzea, a continent on the planet of Hydaelyn. Eorzea is broken up among 5 main powers: the forest nation of Gridania, the desert-based Ul'dah Sultanate, the Thalassocracy of Limsa Lominsa, Eorzea's dominant maritime power, the frozen tundra of the Holy Sea of Ishgard, and the mountainous monarchy of Alamigo. Other important locations include the scholarly city-state of Sharlayan and the Garlean Empire, a hostile northern power with a highly developed technology. 5 years prior to the start of Final Fantasy XIV, the Garlean Empire invaded the land of Alamigo, but were prevented from conquering Eorzea by the attacks of the ancient dragon Midgard-Somer and his dragon hordes. In their everlasting battle with the dragons and fear of Garlean invasion, Ishgard closed its borders to the rest of Eorzea. In response to the Empire's threat, the remaining 3 nations of Eorzea reformed the Grand Companies, comprehensive centers of command which combined the city's military and economic assets. The Grand Companies attract people from all walks of life who take up the mantle of adventurers. Beginning in one of Eorzea's 3 main states, you awaken to the Echo, a power granting the ability to see the past. You are initially involved in both conflicts within the nations provoked by the Garlean presence, led by the Garlean legatus Gaius van Belsar, and the Beastmen's attempts to hoard crystals and summon their primals. Eventually, a greater threat is brought to the attention of the nations by the Sharlayan scholar Louisoix Louviere. Another Garlean legatus named Nael van Darnus is using arcane magic and technology to summon Dalamud, the planet's 2nd moon, down on Eorzea to purge the Beastmen and Primals from the Garleans, whom the Garleans hate as violent pagans. With the aid of Garlean defector Sid Non-Garland, you discover that Nael has set up a beacon for summoning Dalamud in the new fortress of Castrum Novum, while each nation makes individual attempts to storm the fortress. They are repelled. Faced with this, their leaders form a pact and unite the nations under the banner of the Eorzean Alliance. Now united, the nations, aided by you, the hero of light, successfully storm Castrum Novum and destroy the beacon. Nael, insanely committed to his plan, makes himself into a 2nd beacon. Though you defeat him, Dalamud has descended too far for it to return into orbit. So Louisoix proposes a final desperate plan: to summon the 12, Eorzea's guardian deities, and return Dalamud into orbit. Other adventurers pray to altars dedicated to the 12 across the land, then rally with the armies of the Eorzean Alliance to fight Nael's legion on the Cartano Flats, the predicted impact site of Dalamud. In the midst of the battle, Dalamud disintegrates and reveals itself to have been the prison for the elder primal Bahamut. Enraged after its imprisonment, Bahamut begins laying waste to Eorzea. After the attempt to summon the 12 fails, Louisoix uses the last of his power to send you into a time rift, separating you from the flow of time so they can return when Eorzea has recovered.